Hello, everyone. My name is Bob Romanchuk. I'm a research professional currently working with a commercial IRB. So, as you can well imagine, this topic has been one of the main topics of conversation and discussion at conferences over the last couple of years, at least. And so that's what brings me to this topic, and I hope you find it useful. Before we get started, I thought I'd give you an idea of what things we hope to cover in this discussion. First, we'll talk about the breadth and the depth of the revised common rule. We'll distinguish the individual changes. Hopefully, you'll identify your own place in the impact of what the revisions convey, and hopefully you'll find practical value in what we discussed today. We'll talk about challenges and obstacles to implementation. This rule has been in effect since January, and so most organizations have, if they've not already gotten it down, they're working on getting all the pieces together. And then I will create workable solutions in applying the revised rule in your own setting. The revised common rule governs only research that's supported by the DHHS. So unless you're doing federally funded research, these regulations currently don't impact you. The regulations themselves, if you want to look them up, and I think we provided a copy of the revised common rule in the materials for today's session. They're located at 45 CFR 46-102 through 124. But as I mentioned earlier, because this is a common rule governing DHHS funded research, it doesn't currently apply to FDA regulated research. However, with the passage of the 21st Century Cures Act, Section 3023 of that act mandates that the FDA will harmonize with the DHHS revised common rule no later than 3 years after the enactment of this act. So the FDA is obligated to harmonize, and my understanding is that they are working on it. And so you should see a lot of this information applying to you in the not too distant future. So just a little history on the development of the common rule before now. The last revision to the common rule was in 1991. Now, and if you think about the things that have happened since that time, if you've been in research for very long, you realize it's been a lot of changes in the areas of clinical research. Now you find that almost every study you do, even FDA regulated research, the sponsor is creating a biorepository. They all want to do research, future research on banked data and samples. The other thing that's happened in the meantime is the proliferation of electronic medical records. And this has provided the basis for doing some large data-driven research. Also, during that time, we found the accessibility of whole genome sequencing has been available in just about every clinical trial. You'll see that there's some kind of genomic testing being done, biobanking. There's also a lot of challenges that have been presented by the digital age when it comes to privacy. Data is being shared electronically all the time, and so privacy challenges related to that were not addressed in the previous rule. And then finally, you find that there's a lot of collaborative multi-institutional research going on now.